and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. And once again today we are going to be going through all of the day's news from the world of FCB in one of these news roundup videos. We're going to be talking, of course, about the January transfer window just around the corner now, and the latest on Yerry Mina, and also, of course, Philippe Coutinho. The Barcelona papers right now are once again all over that transfer. Coutinho to Barca, will it or won't it be happening in January? The first team returned to training today under Ernesto Valverde, and we got some news on Lionel Messi, potential B-team talents that we could be seeing in the next few weeks, and also the latest on the injury sustained by Samuel Umtiti and when we could expect to see him back on the field. So lots of transfer talk, some talk as well about the first team and the games we've got coming up in January. Lots to discuss in this roundup video, and we are going to kick straight off with transfer news relating to Yerry Mina, the 23-year-old Colombian centre-back, a player that's been repeatedly linked with Barcelona over the last few months. And basically, over the last few months, it's always been the belief that Barcelona would try to target Mina in January. That's been the reports that we've been seeing over the last few months, that Barcelona already had an agreement in place, then they would bring Mina in January, and then when Mina was brought in, maybe then we'd let Mascherano leave and go to China, as has already been agreed. And that was always the sort of plan, to bring Mina in, let him settle, let him improve, and hopefully prove to be a very good acquisition. Now, Yerry Mina's agent has been coming out today in a newspaper report. He's been given some big quotes that have come out, and he basically said that Barcelona have already made a pre-agreement with Palmeiras, Mina's club, for the transfer of Yerry Mina himself. He basically went on to say that Barcelona have the option to purchase Yerry Mina from 2018. From 2018, Barca have already agreed the purchase and the fee, what it would cost to bring Mina to the Camp Nou. He specifically said if they want to sign him in 2018, it would be €9 million. That's the fee that's already been agreed with Palmeiras. If they wanted to wait until 2019, the transfer fee would then be €12 million. There's also some reports in Brazil that say that basically Palmeiras have already included the sale amount in their financial books for the year of 2018. So apparently, according to the Brazilian media, Palmeiras have already made an allowance for the fact they're going to sell Mina, and that is concrete. So it's going to be really interesting in the coming days and weeks to see whether Mina really does become a Barcelona player and what exactly he could provide to the heart of our defence. And next up, I do want to talk about Lionel Messi, and particularly a report that came out today in Sport, and it basically said that Ernesto Valverde has come up with a plan for Lionel Messi over the next few months. Of course, as we go into the season, as we go into 2018, there are some very, very big games coming up, big Champions League matches, potentially crucial La Liga games, and according to this article in Sport, Valverde is very much considering not using Lionel Messi in either leg against Celta Vigo in the Copa del Rey. Basically, it said that Messi will return late, as we discussed in my January preview video. That game against Celta away from home in the Copa, the first leg, is on the 4th of January. Now, Messi is going to be returning late from his holidays, as is Mascherano and as is Suarez, and for that reason, he's very, very unlikely to be involved in that game. And according to Sport, Valverde is seriously considering resting him also for the home leg, which will be on the 11th of January. So very interesting to see whether Messi plays in those Copa games, but Valverde absolutely adamant that he wants to rest Messi and make sure that he's at the highest level he can be in those crucial games as the season goes on. And now on to a report on Samuel Umtiti that was published today by Mundo Deportivo, and it basically said that Samuel Umtiti could actually return to fitness from his recent injury ahead of schedule, which would be massive, massive news for us. Originally, when he got injured, he was due to be back at the start of February. That was when they were sort of estimating that he would fully recover from his injury, but Mundo Deportivo believe he could actually return to fitness by the game away at Real Betis, which will be on the 21st of January. So Umtiti could possibly come back in that game. They mentioned that he could be available as a substitute in that game, but that would be certainly ahead of schedule, over a week and possibly more before he was scheduled to return. So Umtiti's recovery going really, really well, and that for sure is a massive, massive positive for us. He's been an outstanding player when he's been in the team so far this season, very much so the heart of our defence, and even though Vermaelen has done excellently well as his replacement, it'll always be good to see Umtiti back, a fantastic player, and if he could return early, that would be great. And like I said, I do want to talk about the B team. Yesterday in my Valverde verdict video, I did mention, of course, using youth, trying to bring them through, trying to give more chances to the youth players. I was very, very pleased today to see the likes of Arnaith and also Carlos Alenia both trained with the first team today, and hopefully we will get to see them in the Copa del Rey games, like I just mentioned, against Celta Vigo. If the likes of Messi and Suarez are arriving arriving back late. You would hope to see Arnaith involved, and certainly somebody like Alenia as well could be in the squad in that midfield role. One very, very worrying report though today coming from AS, the paper in Madrid. It basically said about Oriol Busquets. Now Oriol Busquets, we've seen him so far this season, plays also in Sergio Busquets' position, and he looks like a very, very good young talent. Now he is yet to sign a contract renewal at Barcelona. His contract expires in June of 2018, so next summer he will be a free agent technically, as we've yet to renew him. And it basically said in the Madrid paper that Real Madrid themselves are interested right now in Oriol Busquets, and they're not the only club. Juventus and Bayern Munich also keeping tabs on Oriol Busquets. Now I don't really think that he's going to be interested in that kind of move, but you've got to be careful. The same as a few days ago, there was a lot of links with Arnaith and Arsenal. They apparently wanted to pay his release clause. You've got to be careful. Players will not wait forever to be given these chances. That's why in the Copa del Rey games coming up, and in the games that we do have when we can rotate, we do want to be seeing these younger players. We do want to be giving them chances just so that they can see things can improve. They can make that step up to the first team, and they will be allowed to do so. And of course, if they are impressing, give him a new contract. Don't wait until the last few months. Don't take that risk, just like we spoke about with Umtiti with his release clause. Don't take that risk with players that you want to keep in your team. And exactly the same would apply to somebody like Oriol Busquets. A good young talent, don't let his contract run down. And finally, in this news video, it would not be a news video without talking about Philippe Coutinho. And of course, that is the big talking point, the massive story in the Spanish press right now. Once again, just like it was in the summer, Mundo Deportivo, Sport, RAC 1, they're all getting involved in Coutinho reports. Now, it is absolutely obvious right now, and I can tell you this for sure, Barcelona are massively, massively, massively interested in signing Coutinho. That is what we want to do. The board right now are obsessed with his signing. It was exactly the same in the summer. It's a massive fee. It's going to take an absolutely colossal transfer fee to get him, but the board aren't worried about that. They just want to sign Coutinho. They want him in the team, and it seems right now that they will not rest until they get him. And likewise, Coutinho wants to move to Barcelona. He does not want to remain at Liverpool, and if the opportunity comes along, he wants to join Barca. But right now the problem is Liverpool, the fee. Are we going to agree to it? That is the big question. 150 million euros is the asking price. A number of sources have reported that. An MD today came out with a big headline that basically said Philippe Coutinho is already looking for a house in Barcelona. It then went on to say that his agent is currently looking for a house in the same sort of area as Luis Suarez. Of course, he played with him whilst he was at Liverpool, and he also wants to be near Paulinho, who of course is a compatriot for the Brazilian national team. It basically said then in the article that Barcelona are desperate to get a deal done as early as possible in January, potentially the first week of January, and the club are willing to pay that massive 150 million that it would take to sign Coutinho. That is including variables. RAC 1 then came out earlier on today, basically echoing the same sort of story. Barcelona absolutely determined to sign Coutinho. If he hands in a transfer request, Barcelona believe that will accelerate the transfer and make it a lot easier to negotiate with Liverpool. So it's going to be interesting in January to see how much Coutinho forces it. Will he hand in that request? Will he once again turn himself against the fans that have been pretty good to him over his time there? But of course, he's still been giving his all for Liverpool. He's been playing very, very well in recent weeks. His loyalty to them couldn't really be questioned. And another very, very interesting report. Marcelo Bechler, you will all know the name, the man who first broke the Neymar to PSG story. He was the guy who got it right from the very, very beginning. And he came out and said that at the start of January, and I quote here, he said, "It will get very, very hot regarding Coutinho, and we will expect a lot of news to be breaking around that time." So what I would say in terms of our whole January deals, not only Coutinho but also Mina, I think maybe the board, and just maybe, they might have learnt their lesson. In the summer, we left things far too late. Neymar didn't help us. He delayed the transfer away, and we were panicking. Towards the end of the window, it was an absolute calamity. I really hope the board have learned their lesson. We want to get things done as quickly as we possibly can. If we're trying to sign Coutinho, go all out and get him in that first week. If it doesn't happen, you've got to move on to other targets. You've got to start thinking about other players. We don't want this sort of saga to drag on for the entire window and disrupt what we're trying to do, because we don't want any distractions right now. So I really, really hope the board have taken on board what happened in the summer, the things that went wrong, and they need to improve on that. Get everything done in that first week. Make sure you're negotiating with the club well. Make sure you're trying to match their demands if we really want someone. The same goes for Arthur. If we really do want him, we're going to have to match Gremio's demands, and we're going to have to see how quickly the board can act and how accurately they can match match clubs' valuations of players that we definitely want. So the first week of January for me is going to be absolutely colossal. Obviously, guys, if anything happens, I will be letting you know with these kind of videos, giving you the updates all throughout the January transfer window and beyond. As always as well, I will have more videos coming up for you. I do have videos planned on both Ter Stegen, Jordi Alba. I'm going to be looking at individual performances and really good displays throughout the season from both of those two players. I've got a lot more planned as well, guys. Thank you as always for your excellent support. I really appreciate all the comments down below. I really do appreciate that. So please do let me know your thoughts on Coutinho, on Yerry Mina. What do you think of the decision to possibly rest Messi in the Copa games? Hopefully we're going to be seeing Umtiti back very soon. And who do you want to see in those Copa matches from the B team? Should we be including Arnaiz, Alenia, Oriol Busquets, Cucurella? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. I will see you very soon indeed. But until then, as always, Vasca el Barça!